Dear students, welcome back. In today's session, let us see about the mechanism of taste perception. As we have studied, we perceive taste with the help of taste receptor cells located in taste buds on taste papillae. The tasted molecules in food chemically react with taste receptor cells and produce the taste sensation. We have 5 basic tastes: salty, sweet, umami, sour and bitter tastes. The taste buds are able to distinguish between these different tastes by detecting the interaction with different tastent molecules or ions. Now, what are tastants? Tastants are molecules or ions present in the food and they interact with the taste receptor cells. When we chew food, the tastant molecules mix with saliva and they come in contact with the microvilli that project towards the taste pores in taste buds. The plasma membrane of taste receptor cells have receptors which can interact and bind with the tastant molecules. This interaction brings about a change in the receptor cell and the cell fires action potentials which are then transmitted to the brain by gustatory nerve fibers. Now let us see the mechanism behind the perception of each type of basic taste. First one is perception of salty taste. There are 2 receptors for salt perception. They are epithelial sodium channels or ENaC and transient receptor potential vanilloid type 1 or TRPV1. These receptors help in salt perception by allowing the sodium ions in food to enter into the taste receptor cell. The entry of sodium ions partially depolarizes the cell and as a result calcium ions enter into the cell. When the calcium ions also enter the cell, it becomes more depolarized. The depolarization of taste receptor cells cause the vesicles containing neurotransmitters to fuse with the plasma membrane. That process is called exocytosis, and this causes the release of neurotransmitters into the extracellular space. This causes the afferent gustatory nerve fibers to fire action potentials which are then carried to the brain as taste information. Now let us see the mechanism of perception of sour taste. In general, all foods which have a sour taste are acidic in nature. It is the presence of acids that give them the sour taste. For example, the citrus fruits have a sour taste because of the presence of citric acid. Similarly, curd contains lactic acid. The property of acids is that they release hydrogen ions. These hydrogen ions are the tastants which help in the detection of sour taste. Saltiness and sourness are detected by the same taste receptor cell. But for other tastes, we have separate taste receptor cells. There are proton channels in the plasma membrane of taste receptor cells, and these proton channels permit the hydrogen ions released from the food to enter into the taste receptor cells. When the intracellular hydrogen ions increase, they acidify the cytoplasm and potassium channels are inhibited. The change in the electrical potential of the cell causes voltage-gated calcium ion channels on the plasma membrane to open, causing an influx of calcium ions into the cell. All these movement of ions bring about depolarization of the cell. The cell then releases neurotransmitters which cause the afferent nerve fibers to fire action potentials to the brain for taste perception. Now moving on to the perception of sweetness. The membrane receptors for sweet perception belong to the family of G-protein coupled receptors or GPCR. The sweet tastant molecules interact with the GPCR on taste receptor cells to produce taste perception. The G-protein coupled receptor for sweet perception has a G-protein called gustducin that is coupled to the membrane receptor. There are 2 families of GPCR, T1R2 and T1R3. They combine to function as a sweet receptor. The sweet tastant molecule binds with the receptor, causing a conformational change. The G protein gustducin coupled to the receptor is then activated and the activated gust-leucin activates another membrane-bound enzyme called adenylate cyclase. The adenylate cyclate then catalyzes the conversion of ATP to cyclic AMP or cAMP. The cyclic AMP or cAMP is the second messenger and it activates a protein kinase. The protein kinase then closes the potassium ion channels and this results in a change in the electrical potential of the cell, causing the voltage gated calcium channels to open. The resulting influx of calcium ions depolarizes the cell and the cell releases neurotransmitters. The gustatory neurons then fire action potentials which are then carried to the brain. Now let us see the perception of bitterness. There are a wide variety of tasting molecules which have bitter taste. Like in the case of sweet perception, bitter tastings also stimulate G-protein coupled receptors or GPCR. But the difference is that the G-protein coupled to the bitterness receptor is transducing. The receptors of bitter tastings belong to the family of T2R. The binding of bitter tastings to the receptor activates the G-protein transducing. The activated transducin then activates phospholipase C. The phospholipase C causes the formation of inositol triphosphate. Inositol triphosphate is a second messenger and it causes the release of calcium ions from the endoplasmic reticulum. The influx of calcium ions causes the release of neurotransmitters by taste receptor cells and subsequent firing of action potential by the gustatory neurons. Next, let us see about the perception of umami taste. Umami is the fifth basic taste and it is described as meaty or savory flavor. The amino acids in the food act as the tasting molecules for the perception of umami taste. Umami receptors are also G-protein coupled receptors. There are two types of umami receptors, metabotropic glutamate receptor mGlu-R, which detect monosodium glutamate, and the other type of receptor is the heterodimer umami receptor with two different subunits T1R1 and T1R3. The heterodimer umami receptor can detect all the 20 amino acids in food. The G-protein coupled to the receptor has three subunits, alpha, beta and gamma subunits. When the umami tasting binds with the T1R1, T1R3 receptor, two parallel pathways are initiated. In the first pathway, the beta-gamma subunit of G-protein activates phospholipase, which causes the formation of inositol triphosphate as second messenger. The IP3 causes the release of calcium ions from intracellular stores. The increase of calcium ions inside the cell activates a monovalent selective cation channel called TRPM5, which permits sodium ions to enter the cell. And this will depolarize the cell and cause the release of ATP. ATP then binds with purinergic receptors on gustatory neurons and causes them to fire action potentials which are then relayed to the brain. The second pathway is initiated by the alpha subunit of G-protein. The alpha subunit activates adenylyl cyclase which catalyzes the formation of cyclic AMP. The exact target of cyclic AMP in umami signal transduction is not known. The cyclic AMP is proposed to have a modifying and controlling effect on umami taste perception. The alpha subunit can also activate phosphodiesterase, which decrease the concentration of cyclic AMP by converting it to AMP. That's all for today's class. Thank you.